What's going on YouTube? If you are visiting this video from the full Spyder headlight install, welcome. This is going to cover how to do the HID, factory HID kit, moving it from the factory headlights over to the Spyder headlights. If you came to this video to try to see how to install the Spyder headlights and you're not worried about the HIDs, I'll link the video for the full install below. Before we get started here, I just want to say thank you to Bruce Bickett for sending me these Spyder headlights for my charger, and I'm working on getting them installed right now. So Bruce, thank you so much for supporting the channel and sending me some goodies here. With factory HIDs, you need to have this unit removed and placed on the new one. This capacitor, or whatever it is that powers the HID. Sorry if I don't know the technical term, but we need to remove it from here and then place it here on the new headlight assembly. We also need to run the wire from that unit through the inside of this headlight in order to plug in the HIDs here. So we are going to be reusing HIDs and the power unit. Alright, in order to get these off, you need a Torx bit. So that's a little star-shaped bit. Should be a T15 to get this off. And then I'm also using a towel on the floor. These headlights, they will scrape if you put the lens side down on concrete or anything hard. Just be safe. Just use a towel or something like that just so you don't scratch up the housings. Okay, when you get this open, this one with the orange cap right here, this is the line that goes to the HID bulb inside the housing here. We're going to want to keep that and reuse that. This one right here, the new headlight, actually has this wired in already, so we just want to remove these. Gently remove these tabs. So these ones right here, I just used a flathead and just gently pried them up in order to release it from the lock. And then gently unplug that from the unit. So we are reusing this unit. Black cap will then stay on. So now we're going to go into the headlight housing. So this is the high beam, this is the low beam. You do not want to touch the bulb itself with your hand because the oils from your hand will actually shorten the lifespan of the bulb. So when we get in there, we'll get some gloves or something. But this guy right here, we need to remove this. It is a push and turn, but got to do that really gently on this because these tabs will break, and according to Bruce, he guarantees that I'm going to break it. I'm going to do my best not to break it so he can still use that on his build. But there's the tab, and it's a push and turn to get the bulb out and everything. If you break it, not a big deal if you're not going to do anything with the stock housing because you're not going to reuse that locking tab in the new headlight setup. So first things first, before we remove this, this is the power cord that goes around to the orange piece that was on the side here. This does unplug. It's a little tight, but you pull it straight down. So with a little bit of force, you're able to unplug that by pulling that straight down. This is the wire that we're going to want to retain and keep for the next set. So now to get the HID light out itself. So this is going to be a lot easier to take this out rather than having to change out a dead HID when you're trying to do it in the car, but easy doesn't mean that I'm not going to break it. So here goes. Oh, I think I did it without breaking it. Check that out. Without breaking it. Sweet. So do not touch that bulb. Okay. So the next hard part is to actually get this ring off. So we'll do that next. So this is the ring that we are not going to reuse. So we will gently just slide this back. there you are, Bruce. There's one that's not broken. Again, don't touch the bulb. Better look at how this ring goes in there. So there's the 2 tabs, there's the 2 notches that it was on. Down and turn. So there, that's locked back in there. So Bruce, there's your piece back. So the next thing is this wire that is, oops, that I tucked down there, which is this orange wire here. We're gonna have to pull this out. Without damaging anything. So this wire, again, it's the orange wire here, and this is the part that goes in the HID. We need to reuse this for the new headlight. So continuing on the HID install here, we removed the cable with the orange cap from the factory headlight, and what we need to do is run this through the headlight unit all the way back to where the HID goes. So it was suggested that I use a coat hanger to try and do that, but I have concerns about scraping the inside of the headlight. So I'm going to try it with some zip ties here, tape off the end to this, and see if I can pull it through. So let's see how successful I am with this. So we'll remove the housing. This is where the HID is going to mount, and we need to run this all the way through. So instead of using my whole zip tie deal, I just held the unit on its side and dropped the wire through, and it just kind of popped out there. So basically that's where I ran the wire. That's where the HID is going to mount. So everything is kind of faced the correct direction, and then the orange end is sticking out here. So Bruce, for that being the hardest part there, I'm going to say no and disagree with you. The hardest part's probably removing that plastic cap off the stock light. So let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and mount up the HID and get her plugged in. So this is a spring clamp. We'll squeeze and then basically open it up. Connect the power back into here, and then gently angle the HID bulb into the housing. Careful not to break it. You really don't want to mess up your HID bulbs because these things are expensive. So we're in. Get them closed up. The springs set on the HID. So the HID is now seated in there, and then we have to get our wires for the control unit. Just to get this protected, we'll just go ahead and put the cap back on. That way we don't get anything else in there. So then we take the control unit, the orange one snapped back in. There, you can't mess it up. They'll only fit in the one they belong in. So snap it all the way in. Then we'll get the other one. And then we'll just snap that one in as well. So basically both of those are snapped back in, and we just need to screw these back in to the housing. So we have the HID control unit plugged back in. HID bulb is mounted. All that is back in. So that concludes the HID installation instructions. So if you need to see how the rest of the install goes, check the link in the description below, and I'll finish the installation there.